Hi guys, I'm Sly Guy. A couple days ago, we got a Splatoon 3 Nintendo Direct. A 30-minute Direct all about Splatoon 3, which I was honestly really excited about, because Splatoon 3, ever since we got the first trailer, ever since Splatoon 3 was announced, I thought that, oh cool, Splatoon 3's happening, that's cool. But I was also like, but why though? But why are we getting Splatoon 3? And why does it have to exist? How is it going to differentiate itself from Splatoon 2, which is already on the Switch? It's still selling. It's one of the best selling games on the Nintendo Switch. And people are still playing it and enjoying Splatoon 2. So, even though I think it's cool because I really do enjoy Splatoon 2, it's one of my favorite Nintendo Switch games, I just don't see why Splatoon 3 was necessary. And for the longest time until we got news of a Splatoon 3 Direct, I was thinking that Nintendo is not doing a very good job of marketing this game. All of the trailers I've seen prior to the Direct, it didn't show me anything that couldn't be at least Splatoon 2 DLC, and which is disappointing because obviously you want Splatoon 3 to be far and away the superior Splatoon game if you're trying to compete with the same heckin' game on the same console. So every trailer that they released prior to the Direct, nothing captivated me. Nothing was like, oh my gosh, this totally makes Splatoon 3 stand out from Splatoon 2. And we didn't really get much trailers for Splatoon 2 until the Direct. They've been doing a lot of stuff on Twitter. They've been showing weapons and stuff on Twitter. But the only people that's looking at the Splatoon Twitter are die-hard Splatoon fans that are obviously already sold on Splatoon. They love Splatoon as a franchise, so they're the only ones that are going to look at it. So I haven't been happy with Splatoon 3's marketing, and this Direct, when it was announced, was like, okay, this can 100% save it. And I watched it, I did a reaction for it, and I was underwhelmed. Incredibly just underwhelmed about the whole 30-minute Nintendo Direct, and I was just disappointed. I recorded a reaction and everything. I didn't do a live reaction, sadly, because I had to work. But as soon as I got home, I put it on, recorded my reaction, and it was just, there was almost nothing. There was almost nothing that wowed me. And I'm going to tell you why. First off, I'm still very excited about Splatoon 3. I'm still going to get the game day one. I'm going to stream it live. Most likely going to do a 12-hour live stream of Splatoon 3 when it comes out. 12 or 10-hour live stream of Splatoon 3. We'll see. And I'm probably going to enjoy it because, like I said, I like Splatoon 2. And Splatoon 3 looks like Splatoon 2. It doesn't look any different. I mean, there's some things different about it, obviously, and we'll go over that. First off, the Direct started off really badly. It started off as pretty much a how to play Splatoon trailer. They told us pretty much the basic instructions on how to play Splatoon, and giving us the most basic knowledge of Splatoon 2, how Splatoon works. If you play Splatoon 1 and Splatoon 2, you're gonna know how Splatoon 3 works. Why do you start out with, a tutorial trailer? Because once again, this is a Splatoon 3 Direct, even though I thought, yes, this is what Splatoon 3 needed to differentiate itself from Splatoon 2. Still, really the only people that are gonna be watching the Splatoon 3 Direct is the Splatoon fans. A tutorial trailer would have been fine in like a regular Nintendo Direct where tons of games are shown, because it's like, oh, well, I wasn't expecting to see Splatoon 3, but since it's part of the Direct, I'm obviously gonna watch it. And then if they like the gameplay, they're like, oh, now I'm interested in this game. Only the majority of people that are gonna watch the Splatoon Direct know how to play the game. So don't open your Direct with a tutorial trailer. That wasted maybe almost 10 minutes of the first 30 minutes of a Splatoon 3 Direct, which is horrible. They gave us an introduction to the lobby, like how weapons work, how specials work, how sub-weapons work. I don't know what they're actually called. I'm calling them sub-weapons right now. And it was just upsetting. They did talk about new stuff, obviously. There's a new roll. You climb up walls. You get a little rocket boost. I don't remember what it's called. You get a little boost, though, when you climb up walls. There's a special spin you can do. So, obviously, little new things here and there. New weapons. Only 2 new weapons. Now, apparently, when Splatoon 2 released, they only released 2 new weapons in Splatoon 2. I am not a die-hard Splatoon fan, so you're hearing this from a not-so-big Splatoon fan, but I do like Splatoon 2. I haven't played Splatoon 1. I am not a professional in Splatoon 2 in the slightest. I'm not even level 30 in Splatoon 2, but I beat in the story mode. I got beat in the Octo expansion. I haven't 100% in anything. I never even went to S rank in any of the rank modes. I am not a die-hard Splatoon fan, but I really do enjoy Splatoon 2. It is one of my favorite games, and I want to become, as big of a Splatoon player as I can be. But I didn't get Splatoon 2 day one. I got it later. And even when I did buy it, it took me forever to play it. I don't think I started streaming Splatoon 2 maybe a year or over a year since I started streaming on YouTube. I didn't play Splatoon 2 for the first year and a half of me started streaming. But ever since I started, I really enjoyed it. Anyways, back to the stuff. 2 new weapons. We might get more in the future. Most likely we're getting more in the future, because apparently that's what they did in Splatoon 2. We're obviously getting new maps. We're obviously getting new clothes, new gear. And that's obviously, yes, you expect that. But still, that stuff to me could easily be, still Splatoon 2 DLC. New maps. Obviously, Mario Kart 8 is doing a thing right now where they're just releasing a ton of new maps. Every couple of months. They could easily just do something like that with Splatoon 2, add new maps, boom. But obviously, a new game, we are gonna get new maps. It is still cool. But, that could just be added to Splatoon 2 as well. New weapons could also do that, new gear and stuff. The stores are different. It's interesting that Sheldon's, the weapons store, they got a new thing going. Instead of actually spending the original currency from Splatoon 2, you gotta get these licenses to pay for weapons. I'm not sure if that's gonna be more convenient or more of a hassle to get weapons in Splatoon 3. That's gonna be something where I'm gonna actually have to try on my own to see if that's better, if that's a good change or a weird and pointless change. Now, they did Splatoon 3. Obviously, you expect a lot of quality of life changes, and Splatoon 3 is bringing a lot of good quality of life changes. When it comes to outfits, there is so many outfits in Splatoon, and all of them do different things. You get an outfit, and they can boost certain stats, and then the goal is to get an outfit that helps a certain play style the most effectively. So if you want to do a different play style, you're gonna have to change clothes. So they got these, I think they call it Freshest Fits, where you can register different outfits, which is incredibly helpful. I think that's an amazing change. I still think they could have updated that like in Splatoon 2, but obviously since it's in Splatoon 3, it is a great quality of life change. The lobbies, it seems like it's going to be a lot easier to go into a lobby and play with friends with this ghost feature. A lot of good quality of life changes Splatoon 3 is doing, and obviously we expect to see that, but still, I gotta keep on saying it. They could have easily put that in Splatoon 2 and called it a day. Also, like some of it, like the new stuff that we did get, to me is just absolutely pointless and borderline just dumb. Like the first really big new thing that they announced was lockers. You get a locker and you can customize it. You can put clothes in it, stickers in it, change the color, put some weapons in it, like customize it however you want, and then you can look at other people's lockers. Really? A locker? Now, before we got all of this news with Splatoon 3, before the Direct happened, the Splatoon community was going crazy talking about apartments. How, like, Splatoon 3 could utilize apartments, you know, like in Animal Crossing, you have all of your houses and stuff, and you have your island. You can customize your house pretty much any way you want to. I'm assuming that's what the Splatoon community was saying with apartments. You get your own apartment, customize it however you want, possibly invite your friends and other players over to your apartment, look at other apartments. That is a cool idea because obviously you live in there, so you want to make it look cool. A locker is just a stupid heckin' tiny little box that you don't even have to look at it. It's a stupid tiny little locker that you can fit like 10 things max in it. And that's it. Like, what the? It's so stupid to me. And it's like, really? Are we getting Splatoon 3 just for lockers? Like, this little new thing that we're getting just is so absolutely pointless. It reminds me of in Pokemon BDSP where they did the trailer talking about how you can customize your Pokeballs, so your Pokeballs can get like a different catch animation. And it's like, I don't care about this. An apartment or a house, being able to live in there, craft it to obviously how you want it because you're living in there, that makes sense. A locker is just stupid. It's stupid. Nobody can convince me otherwise that lockers are dumb. Another new feature that they're adding is Table Turf War. I think that's what it's called. And it's pretty much just a card game of Turf War. You get a card, it has like a little paint pattern, and I guess you're supposed to have a bigger paint pattern than your opponent. This is also dumb. I even looked at Twitter, I'm pretty sure even die-hard Splatoon fans. I think a lot of people are generally excited about lockers for some heckin' reason. I mean, a lot of people like to customize things. There's hashtags now in the game. I don't know what it's name tags. You can customize that. That's cool. Obviously, you can customize it. Everybody can see the name tag. Everybody likes to customize stuff. Obviously, customization. Everybody likes it in gaming, but it's like everything doesn't need to be customized. Everything doesn't need to be customized. I don't need to customize a locker. I don't care about customizing a locker. Anyways, back to the table turf thing. even like I looked at Twitter after the direct happened, and it seems like everybody loves the direct, and everybody also thinks Fry's forehead is big, which I agree with that one. But I still think this direct was underwhelming. Even though everybody thought it was overall cool, I saw Twitter and like, I already forgot this table turf war deck thing was already a thing. I already forgot about it. This just looks like it could have been a $10 eShop game. Just like how Nintendo releases a lot of these online Kirby games for some reason. Like, Kirby got a lot of eShop games. I think we just got Kirby's Dream Buffet announced. So, I think Kirby got like 3 online-only Nintendo eShop games. Like, this table turf thing just looks like it can be one of those games and like sell it for $10 and then maybe people will buy it. Like, I saw this and I immediately didn't care for it. I might play it once, maybe if viewers like to play it, and maybe if it does find a following, like I'll do it on stream. But otherwise, it doesn't look like a feature I will ever do. Salmon Run got updates, new bosses. Obviously, you expect new bosses. Like, everything pretty much from Splatoon 2 is in Splatoon 3, but with updates and quality of life changes, which I still just think it could have been like Splatoon 2 DLC. I'm a Pokemon fan, so I'm a Pokemon fan, and Pokemon is known for not changing much, but I just gotta let you know, I'm not happy about the new Pokemon game either so far. So Scarlet and Violet, the new Pokemon games that's going on right now, I'm not happy about those games so far either. I'm just letting you know as a Pokemon fan. So I'm talking crap about Splatoon 3, but you can catch me on my live streams. I'm going to talk crap about Scarlet and Violet because I don't care what I'm seeing so far about Scarlet and Violet. I've been super, it sucks that I don't know why I'm so negative right now towards like biggest games, because Pokemon is my favorite game series, of my favorite game franchise of all time. I love Pokemon. Don't like Scarlet and Violet. Splatoon 2 is one of my favorite games on the Switch. I'm underwhelmed with what I'm seeing in Splatoon 3. I've been very negative lately. I don't know why, but it sucks. I want to actually look forward to a game, but I'm not, and I'm telling you why I'm not. Anyways, back to Salmon Run. New bosses. There is a cool feature that, like some runs of Salmon Run, when you get to the end, there's this mega boss that you have to fight. That's cool. That's a really cool feature. I definitely like that. But still, that's probably not going to make me enjoy Salmon Run too much. I've never been a really big fan of Salmon Run. I think Salmon Run is super close to being like really great. Salmon Run reminds me of like Call of Duty Zombies. Like, I used to play Call of Duty back in the day, and my favorite thing about Call of Duty, and my favorite thing now about Call of Duty was the Zombies mode. I love Call of Duty Zombies. I still think like just Zombies is fun, and it's like Salmon Run is like Splatoon's version of Zombies, but it's worse because you don't get to pick your heckin' weapons. And I just hate that you get a random assortment of weapons, and every time I play Salmon Run, I get like the worst heckin' weapons to use. And it just makes the experience not fun, because I'm using a weapon I don't like, and I can't change it until the round starts, a new round starts, and then when the new round starts, it gives me another weapon I don't like. Like, Zombies has like a box system, where you get like a mystery box, you pay for a little mystery box, it does a do-do-do-do-do-do-do, and then you get a random weapon, and if you don't like it, you can pay for it again, until you get a weapon that you do like. I wish you could just choose your heckin' weapon. Why can't I pick the weapon I want in Salmon Run? Also, I would like Salmon Run to have like an endless mode, where it just keeps on doing wave after wave, of salmons and boss salmons until you just end up like dying, like in Call of Duty Zombies. Because I just know I had tons of fun back in the day as a kid, just playing zombies, just seeing how far of a round we could get. That's what I enjoy with Call of Duty back in the day. Salmon Run kind of gives me a feel of zombies, but there's just things missing about it that I don't like. The big boss thing looks cool and is a really good feature, but that seems like that's overall the only new feature. They also slightly teased a new type of Salmon Run called Big Run, but they really didn't talk about it too much. They said it happens like once every few months, which is a little disappointing because then it's just like Splatfest pretty much. Which Splatfest are back, by the way, in Splatoon 3, which is obviously a good thing. Splatfest were big events in the Splatoon series and it gets everybody wanting to play the game. You could easily bring back Splatfest in Splatoon 2. Like, you could easily bring back Splatfest in Splatoon 2. You know how, like, you could just redo the Splatfest. Like, they were doing that, I believe, for Splatoon 2, but then they just stopped. Like, in Animal Crossing, you know how, like, every year they have a holiday thing, but, like, it's pretty much the same holiday thing every year, and they have, like, the same, like, holiday mini-games you do and stuff. Like, even though it's the same thing, I mean, at least it's there. Like, I don't see why they just redo the same Splatfest over and over again, like, yearly, because I still think that's better than nothing. You know what I'm saying? Before we got this Splatoon Direct, I was thinking, like, what could this introduce that would differentiate itself from Splatoon 2? And the only explanation that I could think of was the story mode. And the Direct talked about the story mode as well. Not as much detail as I would like, but they did go over it. And from what I've seen, like, the story mode is obviously going to be different, but it still looks like it's pretty much the same formula as Splatoon 2 story mode, where you just go through these levels with these different weapons, and you gotta just use these weapons to traverse the stage. I think they said you get a small fry while doing it. So I definitely think this game has a lot more to show, and it just bugs the crap out of me that we just don't see it yet. Also, I'm just saying, when we got the new idols, like, obviously that was a big thing that people were excited for. They wanted to see who the new Pearl and Marina were going to be. And I gotta be honest, I don't like them. I mean, I don't like one of them. I really don't like one of them. Fry is not it. Fry is not it. Shiver's cool, and obviously Big Man is awesome. But Fry, oh my gosh, Fry is so off to me. That's just a me thing. That's not a Splatoon 3 thing. That's just gonna be a me thing. But also, the song that they play in the Direct, easily the best part of the Direct. That song that they played was awesome and just fire. Like, I get that beat. I still get that beat stuck in my head sometimes. I love that song. A big quality of life change is that we don't have to be forced to watch the news every time you open up the game. There's like a phone feature, and I think the news just plays on the corner of your screen, and then you can choose to go big mode on it if you want, but otherwise, you actually don't have to watch the news, possibly. I'm not sure if it's 100% confirmed, but it's what it looked like, and that's amazing, because watching the news is annoying. Oh, and I also got to say this. Easily, the biggest disappointment is what they said they were doing in future updates. Now, they said that they're going to release new maps in future updates, like Splatoon 3 wasn't going to get all the maps, which I think that's fine. Like, adding new maps is just going to get if you get a good amount of maps in the game already, like, that's fine. and then just obviously new maps when people get tired of the old maps and they want something new. You release some new maps here and there, and obviously that'll get people back into the game. But they announced that they won't even have a League Battle on release, or X Battle, which I don't know what X Battle is. It's something that you only do if you get to a really high rank, so I'm probably never going to be able to do that because I suck at Splatoon 2, but maybe I play more Splatoon 3 and maybe I get good at Splatoon 3, but we'll see. But we're not even getting all of the modes on release. Like, Nintendo has been doing this so much lately, especially with their Mario sports games. Like, Mario Strikers just got released, and everybody says that game was just missing a ton of content, and it had little to no replay value. And like, Mario Strikers released, and nobody is talking about it now. They got a new update. Daisy's actually a character finally. For some reason she wasn't a character on release. She's a character now, but nobody's talking about it. I don't think any of my viewers have bought Mario Strikers. None of my viewers ever mentioned Mario Strikers ever since it released. Nintendo does that with all of their Mario sports games. It feels like all of sports games are lacking content, and then they do updates where they put new stuff on it to make up for it. Like, I feel like they're doing that with Splatoon 3. Probably not as big as like a Mario Strikers. I'm sure that there'll be enough content in the game once Splatoon 3 releases, but it's just still so disappointed that the game isn't going to be the game's not going to feel like it's fully finished when it does release. New maps is fine. Paid DLC is fine. Obviously, Splatoon did that. Splatoon 2 did that as well with paid DLC, adding a whole new story and stuff to it. But not putting all the modes in it on release, I don't like that, and I hate that Nintendo keeps on doing that. Also, speaking of modes, they don't even have a new ranked mode. Like, we're still getting Splat Zones, we're still getting Clam Blitz, Rainmaker, Tower Control. You're doing a new game and you can't even think of one single new game mode? Like, I saw Rainmaker, and Rainmaker's a little bit updated. Rainmaker now has a checkpoint system. Rainmaker didn't have that at the beginning of Splatoon 2. They don't have that at all in Splatoon 2. It looks like in Splatoon 3, Rainmaker got a checkpoint system. And that's like the only thing different. Otherwise, it's just all the same modes from Splatoon 2. Like, they don't even have a new ranked mode. Splatfest got a new update where it's gonna be 1v1v1, so it's 3 teams against each other instead of 2, which is cool. And obviously we talked about Big Run with Salmon Run, but still, Splatfest only happened like once every couple months. They said Big Run only is gonna last once a couple of months. How could they not think of a new mode? A new ranked mode that you can just play like every day? They really couldn't think of one. And overall, probably the number one reason why Splatoon 3 just seems underwhelming, because it's releasing on the same console as Splatoon 2. Now, Splatoon 2 is an old game. It's been out 5 years, pretty much. It's been out since the first year the Switch was released. But like I said, Splatoon 2 is still a live game. Tons of people are still playing it to this day. People are still buying it to this day. Well, I'm not sure if people are still buying it now since they know Splatoon 3 is coming out. But it's one of the best-selling Nintendo Switch games. And I don't understand why they're releasing it now. Because the Nintendo Switch is 5 years old. Nintendo should be announcing a new console, maybe a year or two from now. Like, why are you releasing Splatoon 3 now? Why don't you wait for Splatoon 3 to come out when the new console comes out? Like, I don't understand why we're getting Splatoon 3 right now. It just doesn't make sense time-wise. Unless they just pull a Mario Kart 8 when the new console comes out, they just make Splatoon 3 Deluxe and just port it over to the new console. Or Nintendo might do something crazy with the next console. Maybe they just keep on slightly upgrading the Nintendo Switch. There's been a lot of crazy rumors with what Nintendo's gonna do to move forward into the future with their console. But anyways, that's all my gripe I'm gonna do for Splatoon 3. I think the game is gonna be great. I'm probably gonna have tons of fun with it, just like I did with Splatoon 2. I'm gonna buy it day one. I'm gonna stream it. I'm gonna stream it frequently, and I'm probably gonna enjoy it. But I don't know. I just wish there was like something like big. I think if we got at least one new game mode, I think it would have justified itself for existing. But like as of right now, I just don't think it needs to exist. But I guess I'm glad it exists. Anyways, what do you guys think of Splatoon 3? I would love to maybe do a video of like really diehard Splatoon fans letting out their opinions on why they like the Splatoon 3 Direct and stuff like that. But we'll see. This is probably going to be my only video talking about Splatoon 3. But obviously, I'm going to be streaming Splatoon 3 when it comes out, so it'll still be a lot of Splatoon 3 content. So make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for more videos like this. Shout out to Italian Snom and Al Morales for being alpha members of the channel. And we'll see the rest of you guys on a streamer video. I'm Sly Guy, and this is bye-bye.